981. Welcome to Sports Inside the Locker Room. Joining Kayode, Baker, and myself in the studio, and my name is Folu. We have got Biola. Good morning, Biola. How are you doing?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rainy morning in Lagos.
Yes.
But here,
Showers of
we're
blessings.
here always to talk sports.
Excellent. As we talk sports, do chat with us on our different platforms.
Yes, do that on WhatsApp. The number to do that is 0809-444-0981. Also, please reach out to us on Twitter. We are at Smooth981FM and you can use the hashtag LockerRoom. We are at Smooth981FM and you can use the hashtag LockerRoom981. Now, there are 2 R's in Locker Room, so please take note. All right.
Oh, right. 2 hours. I thought you said 2 hours. I thought you said 2 hours. I was like, there are not 2 hours.
No. 2 R's in Locker Room.
Okay, thank you very much for that. All right, now let's talk sports, shall we? A Nigeria senior national team, the Super Eagles, will begin full training ahead of this weekend's Africa's Cup of Nations qualifier against Libya on Wednesday in Uyo, southern Nigeria. So many Super Eagles players were confronted with varying logistical issues, which affected their arrival to camp as scheduled on Monday. But with the arrival of 20 players as of Tuesday afternoon, the team can now go ahead with their plans. Acting captain Ahmed Musa led 17 other players to camp on Wednesday, that is today, after the duo of Oluwashemi Logo Ajayi and William Troost Ekong had arrived at the Ibom Meridian Hotels and Resort Camp on Monday. But due to the late arrivals, the earlier advertised open training session for Tuesday evening was cancelled by the team's head coach, Gernot Rohr, with a gym session favoured instead of the training ground routine. So the team will now begin training at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium main bowl today ahead of the Saturday's encounter. China-based striker Odion Igalo and Russia-based fullback Brian Idowu are expected to have joined the team before the first full training session today.
Yeah, 4 p.m. precisely right there in Uyo, the training session will begin. Different logistical issues, but it's good to see that the Super Eagles are coming in one after the other and almost all of them in camp. I mean, aside just training together, there's this thing about building team spirit. I mean, the players coming together, joking.
It feels like this team really do.
A lot, and building an understanding is also very important apart from playing on the pitch itself. So yes, today we'll be looking forward to that training, and then Saturday we'll be seeing that game 4 p.m. precisely on Saturday. So we're getting ready against Libya.
Yes. Whoever is traveling to Akwa Ibom to watch, please let us know. Support our boys. It'll be excellent.
It should be on TV. So whether we are in Akwa Ibom or not, we need to support our Super Eagles.
Come on. This is the time. Not just one-time fashion statement.
Okay, so let's talk about some great news, and this one's about the Libyan coach. So, coach of the senior national team is great news.
Only in Nigeria that's sorry, things happened, but it is not good news. Definitely not good news. Maybe good news for the Super Eagles, kinda.
Maybe the Libyan team will be a little destabilized.
Yeah, I mean, looking back to the World Cup, seeing how Lopetegui announced that he was moving to Real Madrid and then got sacked just 2 days before the World Cup. And we know how that affected the Spanish squad. So this might be a really big dampener for the Libyan side. I mean, so far in the qualifiers, they have done fantastic. They lead the group. They are completely unbeaten. And, losing a coach at this time is really bad timing.
Or maybe it will spur them on and they'll say we cannot fail as a result.
Well, I think it's either one of that. There's no in between, really. It either affects them really terribly or it spurs them on, just like you said, Folu. But then it might be good news for the Super Eagles because this is a must-win game against the Libyan side that is looking really fantastic. Like I said, very bad timing for Libya. But then we need to talk about the salary issues all around, especially Africa. It is really terrible. I mean, there are different reports saying the coach had been complaining for over 6 months. He was expected to pay the salaries of his own assistants as well. Really, where is that done? Really sad. But then we look forward to Saturday and we'll definitely see how this Libyan side can fare without this coach.
All right. Well, we will see. Do keep sending in your messages to us. That WhatsApp number is 0809-444-0981. Up next, let's talk about the Africa Women's Cup of Nations, shall we? So with the full football tournament a month away, the continent's football body has finally announced the date for the draw billed for Accra. The 2018 Africa Women Cup of Nations draw will hold on the 21st of October 2018 in Accra. The Confederation of Africa Football has confirmed. Now that is very exciting stuff. Now, with the qualifications of the teams heading to the 11th edition finalized since June, preparations for the continental showpiece are underway in Ghana after CAF upheld its hosting rights. And aside from host Ghana, current holders Nigeria, Zambia, South Africa, Mali, Equatorial Guinea, Cameroon, Algeria, they are the other finalists.
Really, I would have expected the draw to come a little earlier than the 21st, knowing that the tournament itself begins on the 17th of November. I mean, every team expects to have known her opponents over a month to the game itself, to the championship itself. But we know how slow preparations have been for Ghana 2018. You know, the whole issue about whether Ghana was going to host or not came in, and then it was finally announced just about 2 weeks ago that yes, Ghana would host. But the draw coming on the 21st, I think, is a little late. But anyway, it's been said, and we know that there are just 8 teams in the tournament. So I think every country should be prepared to face any of the other 7 contingents for that one. But then Nigeria, of course, we know how fantastic the Super Falcons have been in this tournament over the years. 8-time winners. Ghana will be hosting for the first time. They have never won the championship, so they'll be looking, maybe they can use home advantage this time and then get that one.
This just reminds me, because as I was thinking of this, I was like, it was someone's birthday yesterday. Asisat or Oshola was her birthday yesterday.
24th birthday.
Yes. Massive happy birthday to her.
Ashura.
Massive happy birthday to her. African Woman Player of the Year. Don't ever forget, guys. Don't forget.
Over and over and over again, one of Nigeria's most consistent players, male and female. Yes, I am saying that. So happy birthday to her. 24 years old. And in those years, she has been fantastic. In the last 5-6 years, she has been great, and she's still great at this point. So,
sorry, it was really bothering me. I've been desperately searching.
You want to say something? Let it out.
Make a comment.
Happy birthday, Suzette.
Thank you. That's what we expect.
Okay, so let's talk about something big that's happening on the African continent. It's the 2022 Youth Olympics. Now, the International Youth Olympics Committee on Monday nominated Senegal as the host country for the 4th Summer Youth Olympics in 2022. It will be the first Olympic event in history to take place on the African continent. One of the highlights of the YOG will be the leading rugby sevens team competing against each other. Now, the rugby sevens team, its debut at the 2014 Youth Olympic Games in Nanjing, and is one of the 32 sports at the 2018 Youth Olympic Games in Buenos Aires.
Yeah, fantastic. The Olympics is coming to Africa. Yes, you might say it's the Youth Olympics, but it is an Olympic Games.
Yes.
And it is fantastic. It is very, very big. We know how the Olympics is. I mean, various sports coming into play, and being hosted in Africa for the first time is really, really, really good. I mean, it's a positive for Africa. It shows sports, not just football, is growing in Africa as well. I mean, we've had the World Cup in Africa just once in South Africa, and that has been since 2010. Yes. It hasn't come again. We're looking forward to it coming, but then the Olympics coming in 2022 is great.
I'm already preparing. I'm like, I'm going to be there.
I'm really wishing Senegal all the best, because a lot of money has to go into this, a lot of preparations concerning facilities and all of that. But the world will be coming to Africa for the Olympics, and that's what matters most. I cannot wait to be in Senegal in 2022.
Absolutely. I'm very interested in this rugby sevens. I remember being introduced to rugby in my university years, and I was like, oh, okay, rugby, it's interesting. No, I watched.
Because I was just about to ask, which body are you playing rugby, please?
It's okay, I watched. It was very big at the university I went to, so it was a huge of the Welsh, and they kind of conquer rugby in a lot of ways. So I was like, okay, let's see. Let's take a quick break, guys. We will be back in just a bit. You are listening to Sports Inside the Locker Room on Smooth Breakfast. It was a big deal, because I was University of Wales, Aberystwyth. It's not a joke. Rugby sevens. I was like, rugby sevens. I was like, what is going on?
There's so much noise here.
No, they don't play with this thing. So this is actually a huge. That's a pretty huge deal.
Hey, God help Senegal.
Yes, because of the money, Abby.
Well, we hosted Youth World Cup. What year was it now?
Is that sports? That's just football now.
That was just football.
I know,
It's
that's
been-
true, but even
boy,
that was
it's
a
been
long
a long
story.
time.
That was a while, because I was in stadium for the opening,
Nigeria
the opening
99
this thing.
was it? Yeah.
That's a while ago. No, it was
Nigeria
early
99,
2000s.
yeah. Was it Nigeria 99?
Was it 99?
We should host it. It was.
Yeah, it was
we lost that
99.
final.
It was
We lost
99
that
actually, you're
final.
correct, yeah.
We lost that finals.
It was 99, yeah. I know, that was such a
Oh,
fun, it
with
was
that
such a
great
fun
theme
opening
song.
ceremony.
Who remembers that 1999? Yes.
I don't even
You know, I
forget
looked
that.
for it. I couldn't find it
It's
even on
online. I
YouTube.
found it.
I didn't find it though.
No. That was fascinating. It was a very fun experience. Yeah, but Olympics, that's huge. That's going to put that country in debt, though. You're laughing.
They
You
got
know.
World
You're
Bank.
like, you know. You're
They got
laughing
World
because
Oh
you
my
know.
God.
You know that's what's going to happen.
It's
That's
me.
a debt trap.
That's why I said God help them.
That's a debt trap.
Yeah.
So Qatar is already hosting their walk and they are prepared their whole nation.
No, those ones have money.
Mm-mm.
They can afford it.
And they're
money.
small too, so they can really. That's what Senegal is small too, but their infrastructure is not a joke. All right, Senegal. No, I just purchase my tickets on time.
What?
I said I need to purchase my tickets on time.
You know, I would have even thought maybe like
Morocco.
Yeah, they can get it.
I was surprised when I
But
saw Senegal.
Senegal.
Yeah.
They don't
I
do
was
that.
surprised.
What's happening?
Unse, have you changed the batteries in this keyboard? The batteries are like dead, dying. Okay. We're going live, guys. Studio mics are up. It really should, especially as we're talking sports inside the locker room with Kayode Baker
And Folu Storms.
and Biola.
Yep.
All right, let's jump into some of your comments, shall we? This one is in from Chimabi Victor from Alaba International this time round. He says the Super Eagles of Nigeria must get the job done against Libya. We can't afford to miss the African Cup of Nations again next year. So, Coach Gernot Rohr, you better not have any excuses based on the salary you are collecting. He also goes on to comment on Senegal, saying that they should start preparation on time more as they'll be hosting the World come 2022.
Immediately, actually.
They should have started already. But he goes on to say they should take a clue from what South Africa did in 2010. Please, don't disgrace Africa.
Better not.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on now and talk about the Ballon d'Or. Everyone's been chatting about it. So the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and Harry Kane are among the nominees for the 2018 Ballon d'Or. The 30-man shortlist is dominated by Champions League winners Real Madrid, who have 8 players nominated. Oof. Now, Chelsea's Eden Hazard, Liverpool's Mohamed Salah, and Manchester City's Kevin De Bruyne are among the 11 Premier League players also on the list. And the Ballon d'Or, first presented in 1956, is given to the best player of the year. A ceremony to announce the winner of the prestigious award will take place in Paris on the 3rd of December, when a women's award will also be presented for the first time. Now, this is highly contentious when we talk about the best player of the year, because everyone debates what does that mean? What are you using to rate it? What is the criteria?
First thing I said when I saw that photo is, what is Karim Benzema doing here? What is even Luis Suarez doing there?
I can give you a reason for Benzema.
What is the reason?
He is the only player for Real Madrid. Well, I saw the statistic 2 days ago that has scored against every La Liga team. Of course.
Was it in 1 year?
Well,
Definitely not in 1 year. But in the last 1 year, I do not know what Karim Benzema has done to merit this. Even Luis Suarez as well. But then, of course, the usual suspects, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo has been nominated for 14 consecutive years. Messi for 13 consecutive years as well. Just shows how these guys have dominated the world of football for so long. In the last 10 years, nobody else apart from Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo has won this award. But this year is looking very, very likely, with Luka Modric, of course, winning the FIFA Player of the Year. He has been on everybody's lips all year. I mean, getting to the final of the World Cup with Croatia, of course, winning the Champions League again with Real Madrid. I think it just has to go to Modric again this time. But then looking at that whole list,
Mohamed Salah
also is a very big option. But then, what else did Mohamed Salah do apart from apart from
The Champions League?
getting
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
final of the Champions
Yes.
League. Yes, so scoring so many goals as well. But then Modric will definitely edge it. I see him edging it over Mohamed Salah. Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Will definitely be one of the last five, one of the last three, of course. But then I hope Modric really takes this one. But then we need to analyze this whole list. What is, I will say it
That's
again.
what I want to know.
What is Karim Benzema doing here? I mean, we look at some people who have been really phenomenal over the last year and are not even on this list. I mean, the likes of Lewandowski is not even in top 30. How? And then we have Luis Suarez, who hasn't even really found the scoring boots in the last 1 year. We have Karim Benzema, who hasn't really found the scoring boots in the last 1 year. It's crazy. I mean, even the likes of Francis Umtiti should be on that list. I think he has been phenomenal for Barcelona, phenomenal for France, also winning the World Cup with France. The likes of Toni Kroos even isn't on that list. So it's very, very controversial, I must say. It is. But then, of course, we know that the biggest players are truly on that list. And then, hopefully, Luka Modric takes this one. Hopefully.
All right. Just if I'm going to predict, though, I just really have to say that it's going to be first place Mohamed Salah, no, second place Mohamed Salah, first place Modric, and then of course it's going to be Mohamed Salah in third place. Ronaldo second, Salah third, Modric first.
I don't understand.
Very interesting.
Yeah, in my head.
Just before we move on, let's take a very quick break. When we come back, we will continue with sports stories right here inside the locker room on Smooth Breakfast. Just forgot to play all the ads together.
Oh, we're doing four. Okay.
No, remember I was supposed to switch that around for locker room. Were you not at the meeting?
Yes. It takes a bit of getting used to.
I know. What do you mean? That's why I said, I just forgot. Because I did it for Grapevine, funny enough.
So what I meant to say was first place
Modric.
second place Ronaldo, third place Salah.
Aha,
So yeah,
okay.
but I was saying it as the names came to mind.
Maybe, let me see. Yeah, that makes sense. Or second place Salah, third place Ronaldo.
Yeah. It's not
Do you know the funniest thing? I don't want Cristiano Ronaldo or
On that
Messi in
list.
first three. I
Well,
don't
sorry.
want them.
When you work
Ah.
out, the merits you show now. So, but if Ronaldo continues at this rate, like the way he's going, he won't be on that list next year.
He'll be in top 30.
He'll be in, yeah, but he won't be on that list. Well, yeah.
Ballon D'or. That's funny.
So my goal is score for 10 goals.
That's his name, Immobility. That's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious.
Yes, mobile.
Yeah.
Folic acid and niacin that are essential for us to grow, and it tastes really great too.
Oops. I'm gonna have to make a note about that. I have to email Chizobs
Daily growth.
at 8:30.
Benzema. The people that selected this player are not right.
All right. Studio. Mics are up. Yes, and that really was Frank. I promise you, it's not a fake name. All right, we are back inside the locker room and talking more sports. Kenny Hetuge sent in a message to say Cyril Mobili scored 41 goals in 53
Exactly.
games last season.
That's
The top
someone else.
scorer in Serie A, the Europa League, and only 3 players in Europe scored more than him, not nominated for Ballon d'Or. Karim Benzema scored 12 goals
Analysis,
in
bro.
47 games last season and is nominated. Ridiculous, says Ken. Wow, wow, wow.
I agree.
More
I
messages. Is still. Ken says source EPL Bible. Thank you for that. While Shagun from Kayode says Suarez and Benzema are there. I'd rather choose Lukaku and Lewandowski after UEFA and FIFA best. Everyone can now see how lucky Luka is. Ronaldo for the award, says Shagun from Ikorodu.
All right, so let's talk about Eden Hazard, okay? And he's torn right now. Eden Hazard says he's torn between signing a new deal at Stamford Bridge and a dream move to Real Madrid.
First world problems.
Now, the Belgian forward has 2 years remaining on his contract with the Blues, but it was linked with a move to European champions in the summer. Now, Hazard has scored 7 times in the Premier League already this season. And the quote here says, "I don't want to say yes, I am signing a new contract, and then in the end, I don't end up signing the contract." That's what the 27-year-old said. And what he further says, "It's a hard decision. It is my future."
Yeah, hard decision. But then he's been linked to Real Madrid for about 3 years now, and somehow that move just hasn't worked out. And he seems to be improving every season. Very crucial for Chelsea so far, especially this season already. And looking at it, he turns 28 in January, and this looks like the best possible time to move if he does move, because we know how players tend to decline when they are reaching their 30s. So if he is moving now,
it's okay, no, sorry,
in the football world,
That's older for 4 years.
So
I understand.
If he is to move, this is the very, very best time. Maybe January, maybe next summer, but this is the time to do so, knowing he is still firing goals and all for Chelsea, and Real Madrid might even need him more than ever now, knowing they are struggling and having post-Cristiano Ronaldo issues also. So maybe the January transfer window might be the time, maybe next summer, but if he's to decide, he needs to decide very, very soon. Of course, Chelsea are already saying they want to sign him, they want to give him a new contract to tie him down. Yes, tie the guy down. But right now, the guy does not look like he's very sure of what he wants to do. But if he wants to move a step closer, a step further in his career, this is the very best time to do so. When Cristiano Ronaldo was at Real Madrid, a lot of people used to say, what will Eden Hazard do there? But right now, Cristiano Ronaldo is out of the way. This is the very best time for him to move, if he will move. Or maybe he wants to be very, very faithful to Chelsea. Then we'll see how that goes.
Be like Grandpa Terry, who just retired.
Yeah, those faithful guys.
Yeah, they just stayed. Okay, let's move on to this message. Ayo Kufolami up on Twitter says, "Why is Antoine Griezmann not one of the Ballon d'Or favorites despite winning World Cup and Europa?"
That's actually a good question.
Any answers? No, no answers.
He is a nominee. He actually mentioned that someone from France must win it. He should have just said, "You guys give me this thing." But then, Ayo does have a point.
Okay, Sharif Oluwaleke up on WhatsApp says, "Benzema Ballon d'Or. Wow, what of Junior Locosa that has been scoring for fun? I beg, they should just review that list."
Oh God, yes, give somebody in the FPFL. Great.
We like that. Okay, up next. So comments made by Man United manager Jose Mourinho to a television camera after Saturday's comeback win over Newcastle. Well, they're being investigated by the Football Association. Oof. So Mourinho's remarks were made in Portuguese and have been interpreted as being offensive. The FA will check the footage and then get an official translation before deciding what course of action to take. So far, there's no time scale for a decision on whether they will charge the United boss, but United were 2-0 down at halftime of the Premier League game at Old Trafford, but rallied in the final 20 minutes to win 3-2, with Mourinho under pressure amid reports that he could get sacked. But what did he allegedly say?
Yeah, we do not know that for sure yet. Of course, some people, some Portuguese lip readers, of course, said it was something offensive, though they haven't exactly
and
come
we've
out
been seeing a lot of this lip reading translation things happening.
They haven't exactly come out to say what it was, the exact words. And of course, investigations have to be gone into this kind of thing. And it could take some time, especially because it wasn't in English, it was in Portuguese. So they have to, find out exactly what he said. They have to translate and all of that before any decision is made.
Have an official
translation. Then we know how Jose Mourinho could be, but this is really a wrong time for this to be happening. Knowing they have been struggling also in the EPL and everywhere. It is really, really bad timing. If he gets some suspension or anything, it would just make it even worse for Manchester United. But really, we need to talk about our comeback last week. It was great. It was a lifesaver for Jose Mourinho and the players as well. But then I cannot wait to hear or see what he actually said.
A lifesaver.
We need to wait.
Yes,
need
so
to
like,
wait.
we'll wait and see. I'm sure it'll come out soon. If we scour, I'm sure somebody would have just said, this is what we think he said, and this is the mathematics in the sky for it. Yes.
Or maybe I should just try to learn Portuguese in the next few days.
Useful.
And then check that footage again and I might get what he said.
All things are possible
I'll get
online
back to
now.
you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Biola. We look forward to it. Follow her at Biolicious just in case that translation rolls through. Very quickly, this message is in on WhatsApp. George from Aja says, Hazard should just move a big as the romance is getting too much. See, when
American tennis ace Serena Williams has been nominated for the WTA Comeback Player of the Year award alongside Belinda Bencic from Switzerland.
Yes, really, really, really good list. I think it was perfect. Of course, last year's winner, Gabi Muguruza, has struggled so much this year. Struggled with injury, struggled with form as well. Then Simona Halep and Naomi Osaka definitely have to make that list. Both of them winning their first Grand Slam titles ever this year. I must say, my winner is Naomi Osaka. It's not just about winning her first Grand Slam. She also won her first WTA title, first Grand Slam, has won more games than any other woman this year, has beaten almost everybody there is to beat this year. She is young, she is firing, she's blazing. She's definitely my player of the year. She has been very, very consistent. Yeah, Simona Halep definitely won her first Grand Slam of the year, but she has been very inconsistent also in other tournaments, and she has been struggling with injury as well. But then the comeback player of the year, Serena Williams.
Any doubt about that?
Serena Williams over and over again. I mean, coming back just months after having a child, reaching 2 Grand Slam finals is definitely big. But of course, somebody else who is in that list also is better than Matek Sands. Last year at the US Open, she had a very, very horrific injury. I was watching that game live and I actually saw her bone come out. She was screaming on court. But then she's back this year. She has won a Grand Slam doubles title as well. So that award is, I wish both players, Serena Williams and Bethany Matek Sands, could share. But then I would give it to Serena Williams. Then another award, most improved player of the year, Arina Sabalenka. Somebody who is blazing, is in the best form of her life. She's 20 years old, has won a couple of titles this year as well, beating almost every top 10 player there is this year also. So the WTA awards are perfect more than every other year.
All right, thank you very much for that, Biola. Just to round up this session of sports for the locker room, a few questions. Cruz earlier on the show had actually asked about the 2018 Lagos Open, asking about results for it. Is there a site or something people can find out information?
Yes, follow at Lagos Open or Tennis NG on Twitter. You get results there.
All right, there you go. While we've got more messages still coming in on WhatsApp. This one is in from Bash from Yaba.
He says Hazard's move to this empty Madrid will suffer. He'll suffer. Football success is a cycle, and the time for Madrid is over. He may not win anything there if he goes now, and when you don't win anything at a club like Madrid, you won't be remembered.
Yeah.
Maybe he could help them win something though.
Hey, maybe it's his time to
That's
shine.
a good way to see it.
Well, Ajibola from Agungi says, spot on. Modric all the way. That list is full of political undertones, and they said not only Nigeria get politics, but also comments and says, Hazard has already moved, Jerry. All this posting is just unnecessary speculation. So I beg, now which player no one win trophy? Thank you for that. So Biola, I think she said spot on for that. And yeah, Cruz, yeah, you're welcome. Thanking you for results of Lagos Open, where to find it.
Yes, of course.
On that note, we are done with sports inside the locker room. Please also find Biola up on Twitter. Her Twitter handle is
At Beolicious, BeorLicious.
There you go. Coming up next, it is the final hour of Smooth Breakfast, and it's a little bit of a special because tomorrow is World Sight Day. We're going to be talking to somebody about sight and the issues that face us all. So keep listening to Smooth Breakfast.
That Lagos Open is an absolute